So in the last video, I have spoken about the topic of narcissistic personality disorder, in which I have, and I broke down crying, and at the end of it, about half an hour in it, and that video unfortunately got deleted. So we are trying to make a new video in which we are going to talk about, well, all I said particularly is that being narcissist is not just, from one side of what they say, horrible or whatever, but it's hard. It's hard for them, and they won't tell you that. So victims will tell bad stuff about them, and they will not tell you the truth. They will not tell you that they suffer. They will not show you vulnerability. And on that video, I almost showed vulnerability, which was quite epic because I actually broke down crying. But I won't show that video just because it got deleted. Else I would. I said it was hard because that all bad stuff is keeping you inside the circle, and inside the circle you cannot break out because it's a circle, and you feel very alone. So this is why it hurts. It hurts because there's no one else to be with you inside. It's trapping you inside, and you're forever alone. So this was my explanation why it was hard to be a narcissist, and on what I cried basically. So I don't know if there's anything else, because do you know anything else, Jake?
We were on the subject of anything that would be useful to folks in NPT relationships.
Anything that would be useful in NPD relationships.
Like the things an NPT person would do to their mate. A proper way for the mate to respond to certain things so that it doesn't necessarily turn into a conflict.
So they have different needs, and it can lead to them being difficult, toxic, or even abusive. So let's talk about stuff that can prevent these situations. So tell me one stuff, Drake, that you think that we should talk about on that subject.
Well, I want to remind people that unlike popular fiction, NPD does not automatically make the person an abusive person.
No, it doesn't mean they're going to be abusive just because they have a MP.
Right.
But there's high chances that they can be abusive.
But it's not a guarantee.
Yeah, but it can be toxic as well.
But it can be toxic in a few different ways. The number one thing that I've noticed that a narcissist does is deflects blame for anything to anyone or anything else. And even if it is unavoidably their fault, it was an accident.
Yeah, it was an accident, or I didn't mean to, or it was because of that, or even if that was because of that, I did it because of you, and Even if it was my fault, it was your fault. So, anything is basically anything, it just to avoid blame
responsibility for
and
the action.
responsibility for the action.
And that's probably a narcissist's the biggest problem is uh, guilt and taking responsibility, accepting responsibility
They
for what
avoid
they did.
guilt all their lives because guilt, it's not about guilt. It's about like if they end up being guilty about something, then that means that they're gonna be left and not loved. So that means that for them.
Yeah, it creates a ton of negative uh, thought processes for them. And even
Narcissists are deeply suffering there here and much other areas.
they are. It's being a narcissist is a really difficult thing for a human being to suffer through. It, even if you explain to them thoroughly how they are still accepted and are loved and they're not going to be left,
They're gonna try to dodge.
they're still going to have these feelings.
Yeah.
Uh, and so far, the only thing that I have found that can be helpful is just to be physically reassuring to them. Hugs and embraces and let them know that you are there and you're not going to just up and leave because they're having a moment. And I call it a moment because they are. They are moments when they're experiencing the impulse to strike out at someone.
This is more related even to conduct disorder, conduct related stuff. And the narcissists have them pretty much. Narcissists
Yeah,
have conduct disorder.
it doesn't last forever. It lasts for a certain period of time, and then it will pass, and everything is calm again.
Yeah, but what do I think that this happens? Why they create this drama? They cannot stand this peace, this uncertainty for them that everything is peaceful and okay. So they create the drama to something that they are used and feed off that drama. But it can also mean that they are feeling uncertain. So you can try to promise them that they will get their attention, for example, of the from the 6 to 9 this evening, or at Friday that you will get them full day attention, or anything like that.
Right.
You can reassure them all the time.
You try. I mean, life happens, and so sometimes schedules don't work out, but you try. Uh, and sometimes it
It's
may
very
be
important actually to stick to this if you promise to a narcissist. It's very important to know that you are available at that moment.
right, right. And sometimes it's a physical need. It may be maybe they're feeling sick and they need a particular medication. If they don't have that medication, it may cause anxiety, and that leads to yada yada yada, and then there's conflict going on. So for a narcissist to have to feel like all of their needs are met, that they have plenty of everything they will need, cigarettes or whatever, and enough that they don't worry
Money,
about, yeah,
woman.
enough that they don't worry about running out. Um, that is very, very comforting to them and greatly reduces the number of times that they go through that cycle of wanting to harm another.
Yeah, that is true.
It's, how to defuse the situation when they are in an aggressive uh, stance is Number one, try not to be aggressive back. Try to always talk about what's going on, or get them to talk about what's going on. You may not be successful, but at least try. Don't abandon. Okay, leaving the room is
It's the wrongest thing you can do.
yeah, it's the wrongest thing you do. You need to stand your ground. Don't be a victim, but try peaceful methods for getting them to express what they're going through, how they feel, and so forth. Um, that's the best advice I have at the moment. I'm getting over a migraine, so I'm not fully functional, but I'm not doing too bad.
Thank you, Joe.
No, you're welcome, and thank you. Now, if anyone else has anything else to add, please say so. I hope you all have a good evening. There may be another video. I'm not sure. We'll find out. But peace, folks.
Peace.